Welcome back to Freedom in Hours. Andy here again. Great to have you back with us for another episode. Today's episode, I want to talk about how the middle class is disappearing. You see, essentially what's happening is the middle class is fading out of existence, and in its place is going to the rich class and also the lower class. I know I don't use the class words, but it kind of distinguishes kind of where we're at in the world. You see, back in the past, being in middle class meant that you could be guaranteed having a job for life, saving for retirement, getting a home, and having a chance to actually build a life. The reality these days is very, very different. You see rising inflation, rising real estate prices, rising rents mean that even if you can even hold on to a job, the reality is you may not be able to afford even your own home. Moving into the future as well, very, very unlikely when you hit retirement, you retire with little to no money. So in this episode, we want to talk about why the middle class is being wiped out. What you can do to turn that around, and the opportunities that are coming in the next few years. You see, just because these changes are happening doesn't mean you need to be part of it. And you see, go talk a bit more about the rat race and how we're all kind of conditioned to be in the rat race and limited by it, and the things you can do to be outside of it. So all that coming up in Freedom in Hours. The notion of middle class has long been the backbone of American and Australian society. A dream of upward mobility, financial stability, and a sense of equilibrium between the rich and the poor. However, recent trends reveal an unsettling truth. The middle class is gradually being wiped out. Soaring living costs, skyrocketing real estate prices, and rent prices going up, depreciating real wages, and heightened job insecurity are all converging into a perfect storm that threatens to only leave two classes, the rich and the poor. So let's look at these in more detail. Real estate prices. You see, people's dreams are linked to home ownership. This is a cornerstone of middle class life. But what happens when this dream becomes increasingly unattainable? In many cities, real estate prices have soared to levels far outpacing average income growth. For middle income families, this is a battle they cannot win. In Australia, for example, real estate prices used to be about 4 to 5 times earnings. Now they're 18 times earnings in some cities. We're talking about a 5 times difference. How do people get on the property ladder? Rising rents. Now, if the thought of buying a home is distant, the notion of even renting a decent living space is increasingly burdensome. As house prices rise, landlords capitalise on this by increasing rents, leaving people with fewer and fewer options. And now in Australia, one of the world's richest countries, homelessness is becoming a reality for a lot of people. But it's not just about housing either. A lot of asset prices have changed. Stocks, bonds, education, healthcare have all soared. The cost of living in basic goods through inflation has gone up. People are being squeezed from all angles. But this is not the worst of it. You see, the worst of it is falling real wages. Now, you could argue that rising costs could be manageable if wages kept pace. But the reality is nominal wages are decreasing. What are nominal wages? Well, say you get a 3% pay increase and inflation's gone up by 7%. You've in fact lost 4% wages in the last year. And a lot of people in jobs don't understand this. They don't understand the power of losing money through lower wages. Combined to this is jobs insecurity is a new norm. Now, I read that Australia's unemployment rate was 3.5%. Couldn't be farther from the truth, because we've got job insecurity through gig economy or freelance work. So people are doing unsecured work, harder work, at lower money, and all about this with all the rises in prices. So, we're all given a contract when we were younger. When we came into this world, we received a birth certificate. We were told, save, earn, put money in, you'll have a good future. The reality is that hasn't happened. The reality is we're being sold a lie. The effect of this is the rich are getting richer through these higher prices. Now, I read somewhere that the Australians, basically 1 million home owners in Australia out of 26 million people. This means 1 million people control for 25 million other people. That's shocking. But it's the 25 million other people that are missing out, because 1 million are getting richer and richer with property prices. They're buying more. The wealth gap's widening. These companies, for example, they keep on growing their profits. They don't pay the employees anymore, but they increase their prices. You go to supermarkets, they get efficiencies with these new technologies. They get efficiency with products. They make more and more money. Meanwhile, we're left behind. But guys, the great thing is there is an answer. There is a way to break this trap. You see, any of us can change the situation that we're in. Any of us can turn this around. You see, you don't have to be involved in a rat race anymore where you work for money, where you trade your time for money. And I want to go on that word for a minute. Time for money. You see, time is limited, but money is unlimited. We all give the amount of same. We all have the same amount of hours in a day. So we all have 24 hours. Whether you're a billionaire, whether you're unemployed, whether you're yachting around the world, we all have the same amount of hours. But it's how you use those hours. So if you're using your hours to earn $20 an hour, you're giving up your time increments to earn $20. But not only that, as you're only just getting ahead or having to use credit cards and debt to get ahead, you're actually in effect using your time to try and get ahead. It's crazy. Now, what we need to do is we need to start thinking of time as being a limited resource, as our time on earth as being limited, and that we need to do anything we can to actually move ahead. You see, while you're working for a job, you've got limited hours, and there's only limited things you can do to actually expand it. There's limited things you can do to earn more money. What you need to start thinking about is, how can I change this? How can I get ahead? Change the game so I can actually start earning more money, so I can get ahead. Well, guys, it's not through a job. It's not through a rat race. And the people that are taking this money, that are earning more, aren't in jobs. So what we need to do, what do? Well, you listen to this course, so straight away I know that you're doing some work on yourself to actually learn more and create more. But I challenge you is, what kind of learnings have you done? For example, have you jumped on Udemy? I've just done a course on Udemy about AI and ChatGPT and how I can use that to maximize my businesses, to become more efficient, and to earn more and do more with what I've got. But if you're not doing that, you're essentially a wage slave. You're going through each and every day to try and earn money based on a wage. And guys, you can never get ahead. So you need to start by thinking, okay, what am I going to go and do to change the game? Because the game doesn't work. You can sit there and save 10% every year for retirement. And a lot of jobs, you have to be saving for 5,000 years. We don't have 5,000 years. But particularly that, the money you're earning now, you're saving for the future, money's worth less in the future. If I give you $1,000 now, or I give you $1,000 in 20 years' time, what would you rather? $1,000 now. So why, guys, do we trade our time for the future? Why do I trade good time now for bad time in the future? It really doesn't make sense. So the first step is by acknowledging that the game doesn't work anymore. Acknowledging that the things that we got taught don't work. The second step is making a commitment to never-ending improvement. That you're going to sit there and not do this anymore. You're going to create a business. Now, what do I say by business? It could be doing a podcast like I'm doing now. It could be doing a YouTube channel. It could be doing affiliate marketing business, blog posts. You could set up your own print-on-demand store. There's so many things you can do. And in Freedom Hours, we go through a lot of those. We give you tutorials. We give you step-by-step ways that you can start immediately to start to make money. But guys, you've got to realize that this is not going to get any easier. If you've bet your life on a job, with AI coming out, half the jobs could get wiped out. Now's the time to say no more. Now's the time to step up and say, I'm going to get control of my life. I'm going to get control of my money, and I'm going to retire young, not old. So now we're going to go a lot more about that in the future. I'm very, very passionate about trying to bring people out of the rat race, trying to give people the ability and the skills to earn more, live more, and be more. So make sure you reach out to me at Freedom Hours. And also make sure you like the podcast and keep on reviewing. Check out our other channels as well about how we can do it. But guys, I'm so passionate about this. You can create anything you want to. Anyway, thanks for joining me here at Freedom in Hours.